And some of the nearest communities that you would feel it would be Culver City. Englewood, of course, is where a lot of people felt it. Gardena, Compton, Signal Hill, Long Beach, even Seal Beach, Huntington Beach, Newport Beach, Costa Mesa, and even Hawthorne. In fact, our reporter Elizabeth Espinosa happened to be in Hawthorne during the time that the earthquake hit, and I believe that she's on the phone with us now to tell us what she experienced. Elizabeth? Well, it seems that we lost Elizabeth for a moment there, but as you also see from what you're seeing on the TV, there you are. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, honey, can I just tell you, it was very scary. I happened to be in Hawthorne. I was in my car, and I am backing out of this driveway when suddenly my car literally jumped, and I immediately knew it was an earthquake. And I jumped out of my car, I left the lights on, and I saw neighbors run out of of their homes, and high-tension cables swinging. It was really scary, and it's true. It was such a jolt. It was a little bit of a swingy feeling, but, back when I remember we had Northridge, it was more of a vertical movement. This was like a horizontal, but the jolt was so scary. I was really freaking out. I'm not going to lie to you. And as I understand it, I talked to friends. I'm from the South Bay, so I had some friends call me that they were at the gym, in fact, in Torrance, and that everybody stampeded out of there because everything started moving and shaking. And neighbors actually telling me that in Hawthorne that a lot of their stuff actually fell off the walls, frames, that kind of stuff. And I also understand over at the South Bay Galleria at the AMC movie theater, folks inside watching movies, parts of the screen apparently may have detached, and I understand a piece of the roof top fell. But I got to tell you, I'm still a little shaken up about it, and I know I've covered a lot of things, but it really was strong. And I did talk to some friends out of San Diego. They felt it as well. But here in the South Bay, because you figure Hawthorne is so close to where they're reporting it being the epicenter, it was so strong. You felt it out there too, right?
Well, no, yeah, we did feel it all the way up here in Hollywood. Maybe not for as long as you may have felt it for those 10, 15 seconds that they're reporting that it lasted, but it did it did wake everybody up, that's for sure. And,
I think it woke us up, but initially we didn't think it was going to come out as large as it did here in the newsroom, but you're a little bit closer to where that fault line is.
Oh, I felt like, seriously, Lou, I felt like somebody picked my car up, which is so bizarre. Yeah, and so for Dave Meekin saying that they were in the news van, that must have been scary as well, because, you got the mast up, the big antenna up in the air, but it's so close. I mean, Hawthorne, you're looking at the map here, it really is close to where they're saying the magnitude, the epicenter is, and people just coming out really, really concerned. And I'll tell you, it reminds me, it's one of those reminders here in Southern California that we need to be earthquake ready, because you don't know. And apparently I've been listening to, the seismologist you had on a little bit ago, and we've had at least 2 aftershocks. And I've heard that it may be, as you know, in the past when we have these shakers in Southern California, we may have a bigger one 2 days from now, a couple days from now, in a couple of hours. We don't know. But the bottom line is we have to always be prepared, have the canned foods, have the flashlights with the batteries going, have bottled water in store. And so it's a reminder for me as well when I head home.
And something that we've also picking up here from one of the USGS seismologists, they're saying that this really was a serious jolt, and it was probably felt within a 100-mile radius, which is just massive. And as you heard earlier, Richard Buckmeister, who is also saying from the USGS that they may have felt it not even just as far south as San Diego, but all the way into Tijuana, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, no, it really was. I mean, it was just the most bizarre thing ever. In fact, I was thinking, I couldn't imagine if I was driving on the highway when it happened. I couldn't imagine if, even at LAX. I mean, this epicenter is super close to LAX. And I understand that, all operations are normal for now, but it was really strong. And that is a 4.7. It just makes me think of all these other earthquakes we've reported on that were, much larger magnitudes. Remember the one in China not very long ago. It's so scary. And to think that, you still have to deal with the aftershocks. And I think that's the most important thing that folks have to also remember is that this is kind of like a little bit of a wake-up call, if you will, that, you don't know. And this is what we live with, great weather, but also earthquakes.
Elizabeth, what is the neighborhood in that area where you said you were backing out of that driveway? People have obviously now probably calmed down. Everyone's going back into their home. Anybody still out and about?
No, I've actually left that area now, but no, I did see a lot at the time, right? Everybody coming out, checking everything. One lady, older lady, sweetheart, Marianne is her name, and she lives by herself. You know, she's like in her late 70s, and she's like, I was sitting at my computer, and my computer just jumped in the air, and so she went out frantic, very concerned. But now it's definitely more, calm. I think everybody's just kind of okay that it didn't continue. But really, to be in that area, so close to the epicenter, it just makes it's a big difference. I talked to somebody in San Diego, and they said that they were, at home, and the house shook as well. But nothing like what we felt here. I mean, to be backing out of this driveway for me, and I felt like somebody picked up my car and moved it, and I thought, oh, my God, this is an earthquake. I got to get out. So I jumped out, and as soon as I did, I looked into the sky just to make sure nothing was going to fall. You know what I mean? You just don't know.
All right. Well, Elizabeth, we really are so glad that you called in and glad that you're doing okay and that everybody in that neighborhood is fine, and really that they're